The wind carries many whispers, some gentle, some fierce, but only the trees with the deepest roots can listen without losing themselves. You too are like that tree, sensitive to every breath of the world around you, yet grounded in a silent strength. What does it mean to feel so deeply? To hold the weight of others' joys and sorrows as if they were your own? Perhaps you have wondered if this is a gift or a burden, a blessing or a trial. But what if this very sensitivity is not your weakness, but your greatest power? What if the very currents you feel within the world's invisible tides are the secret forces that shape life itself? When you no longer seek to escape your feelings, you begin to see their true nature. When you no longer resist your empathy, you begin to understand its sacred purpose. Today we begin a journey, not outward but inward, to the heart of what it means to be an empath, to walk softly among the world's pain and beauty, and in that walking, to discover the quiet strength of your soul. Breathe deeply and let the stillness carry you. The universe is speaking. Are you ready to listen? Imagine a vast lake at dawn, its surface smooth as glass, reflecting the sky's early light. When a single pebble falls, ripples spread wide, disturbing the stillness, touching every corner of the water. Yet beneath the surface, the lake remains whole, undisturbed by the fleeting waves above. You are much like this lake, sensitive to every small stone that life throws your way. You feel the emotions of others, the energy of your surroundings, the subtle shifts in mood like ripples crossing your calm. Sometimes these waves pull you into unrest, and you react quickly. Perhaps with anxiety, confusion, or the urge to fix what feels broken. It is a common human struggle to be tossed by the currents of feeling, to seek validation in the noise and approval of others, believing that if you are seen and accepted, your inner turmoil might ease. Yet this search often leads you further from the quiet depths within, where true peace resides. Here lies a gentle truth. Sensitivity is not a weakness, nor is it a call to react without pause. Rather, it is an invitation to cultivate stillness. Amidst the waves, silence is not emptiness, it is presence, not absence but fullness. Just as the lake embraces each ripple without losing its depth, you can learn to receive the emotions and energies around you without being overwhelmed by them. You can be touched without being undone, moved without being swept away. This is the first step toward mastering your empathic nature, to find the still center within yourself, where the noise fades and your true self can stand steady, rooted. Like a mountain, calm like the morning lake, vast like the sky. When you hold this space, you begin to understand that your sensitivity is a sacred gift, a channel for deep connection, profound insight, and quiet strength. You are not simply a titiso vessel for others' feelings. You are the lake, holding and reflecting life's currents with grace. And in this holding, you discover your power. There is a dance between movement and stillness, like the wind that stirs the leaves and the tree that stands unmoved. One cannot exist without the other. You have felt this tension within yourself, the pull between rushing to respond and the longing to simply be quiet. Noise fills the world and your mind, a constant chatter, expectations, fears, and stories. Yet beneath this noise lies a sacred quiet, a gentle current flowing like a hidden stream beneath stones. You do not have to chase what belongs to you. You do not have to rush to grasp the fleeting shadows of approval or calm. In this truth there is great peace. Imagine yourself as the ocean tide, sometimes rolling, sometimes still, always present. When you resist the waves, you suffer. When you allow them to rise and fall, you become one with their rhythm. Your empathic heart often wants to move quickly, to fix, to soothe, to carry burdens for others. But true power is found in stillness. Like the mountain that remains unmoved while storms pass around it, your strength is in your quiet center. The world may swirl with noise and urgency, but you can choose to rest in calm. You can be the silent space that holds the storm without fear. Pause now and breathe with these words. I do not need to chase what belongs to me. Feel the weight of that phrase settle deep within you, softening the urge to hurry, to prove, to escape. Here, in this moment, you touch the beginning of peace, the peace that arises when you trust yourself enough to simply be. Your power as an empath is not in constant movement or reaction. It is in your ability to embrace stillness, to hold space, to listen deeply. Let the quiet wash over you, like a gentle rain nourishing thirsty earth. You are enough exactly as you are, just as the tree is enough standing silently beneath the sky. Rest. In this knowing, you are held, you are whole. Outside, the world moves like a restless river, constantly flowing, rushing toward distant shores, never pausing. Its currents pull at you, dragging your attention into storms of distraction, noise, and endless demands. You may find yourself swept away, caught in the tides of other people's feelings, opinions, and expectations, losing sight of the stillness that lives within. But what if, instead of being carried by this river, you turned your gaze inward? Imagine a small lantern held close to your chest, its gentle light growing brighter with each breath, illuminating the dark corners of your own being. This light does not compete with the rushing river. It simply shines steadily, quietly, guiding you back to yourself. Your empathic nature often leads you outward, toward the currents of others' emotions and experiences. Yet, the true power lies in the turning inward, in the sacred act of quiet self-focus. When you pause and breathe into your own stillness, you allow the lantern within to burn clear and bright, untouched by the chaos outside. There is a calmness that comes from this inward turning, a deep knowing that your center is not defined by what pulls at you from without, but by the steady flame that flickers within. You begin to understand that the world's noise is only a surface ripple. Beneath it lies the vast ocean of your own presence. Let yourself rest here, in the soft glow of your own awareness. Feel how the lantern's light grows stronger with each moment of attention, gently dissolving the shadows of doubt, fear, and overwhelm. In this sacred space, you find freedom. Freedom from being swept away, freedom to simply be, freedom to hold your empathic gifts with grace and balance. You are not the river's current. You are the lantern in the dark. You are the still flame that guides your own way home. Life moves swiftly, like the wind weaving through tall grasses, sometimes gentle, sometimes fierce, yet always flowing. You're often called to respond, to react to what stirs around you. But what if, instead of rushing forward, you learn to observe this wind, to feel it pass without losing your ground? Pause, breathe, witness. These simple words hold a sacred rhythm, a quiet invitation to step out of reaction and into presence. When the world pulls at you, through emotions that rise suddenly, thoughts that rush like a storm, or voices clamoring for your attention, remember this. You are not the storm. You are the stillness that watches it pass. Pause, breathe, witness. Each breath is a sacred pause, a moment where you meet yourself fully, without judgment, without urgency. In this pause, the space between impulse and action grows wider, and within that space lies your power. To witness is not to judge, but to see clearly, to watch without needing to change or fix, to be present with what is, like the sky that holds clouds without resistance. Pause, breathe, witness. Let these words be your anchor when the world feels overwhelming. Let your breath slow the tides of reaction, allowing you to respond with wisdom. Rather than impulse, presence is a quiet strength. It does not shout or demand, but gently holds the moment, allowing life to unfold as it will. Pause, breathe, witness. In this stillness, you discover that your empathic heart can hold space, not by rushing in, but by simply being. You become a calm lake reflecting the sky, steady and clear. You do not need to fix the world around you. You only need to be fully here, fully present with yourself and all that arises. Pause, breathe, witness. This is your sacred power. This is your deepest peace. There is a tree standing quietly at the edge of a flowing river. It does not envy the river's endless movement, its shimmering currents, or the way it dances with the sunlight. The tree knows its own strength, rooted deep in the earth, steady and patient through every season. It offers shade and shelter without asking for anything in return. You too have been caught in the silent trap of comparison, measuring yourself against others' paths, their light, their journeys. In the stillness of your heart, You may have felt the quiet ache of not being enough, too sensitive, too restless, too different. But just as the tree does not envy the river, you do not need to measure your worth by the noise or speed of those around you. Your value is not in how you move, but in simply being. The river flows, always changing, always moving forward. The tree stands, always grounded, always present. Neither is greater or lesser. Each holds its own sacred place in the dance of life. You are already enough. Say this gently to yourself, as if whispering to a tender leaf on the wind. Let it settle softly into your bones. You do not need to prove yourself or shrink to fit expectations. Your sensitivity, your depth, your quiet strength, these are gifts that cannot be measured by the world's fleeting standards. The tree offers its branches without comparison, without judgment. You can do the same. Rest in this truth. You are whole just as you are. You are enough. You are enough. You are already enough. Hold this affirmation close like a warm cloak on a cool evening. Let it remind you that your journey is your own, sacred and true. In the stillness, you find freedom from comparison, and in that freedom, you find peace. Solitude is often mistaken for loneliness, but it is something far more sacred. Imagine the silent mountain, majestic and unmoving, watching the seasons unfold in quiet grace. It does not rush or seek company. It simply stands, a steadfast witness to the passing of time. In its stillness, there is great power. You too can learn from the mountain's silent strength. Solitude is not the absence of others, but the presence of yourself, whole, undisturbed, and deeply alive. When you step into solitude, you enter a sanctuary, a sacred space where your spirit can breathe freely, away from the noise and demands of the world. It is here in the quiet moments alone that you reconnect with your deepest self, the place where your empathic heart finds clarity and rest. Solitude is not emptiness. It is fullness. Like the mountain holding space for the changing seasons, your stillness holds the flow of your inner world. You do not need to fill this space with activity or distraction. Simply being is enough. In solitude, you discover your own rhythm, your own breath, your own light. It is a place of renewal and strength, where the noise of the outer world falls away, and the whisper of your soul becomes clear. This stillness is your empowerment. It teaches you that you do not need to be constantly engaged or surrounded to be complete. You are whole in your own quiet company. Embrace solitude as a friend, a teacher, a sanctuary. Let it remind you that true power comes from within, from the calm, steady presence that nothing can shake. Like the mountain, you stand rooted in yourself, silent, strong, and unshaken, watching the seasons of your life unfold with grace. There is a river flowing gently through the valley, unhurried, unforced, moving with grace and ease around stones and bends. It does not resist the path laid before it, nor does it try to control the course of the water. Instead, it surrenders to the natural flow, trusting that the river knows its way. You too carry within you a current that longs to flow freely, yet often you find yourself gripping tightly, trying to steer life according to your desires, fears, or expectations. But control is an illusion, a fragile grasp on something that is always shifting, always changing. Look at the falling leaves in autumn, drifting softly from branch to earth. They do not fight the wind or cling to the tree. They surrender with gentle acceptance, trusting the cycle of seasons. In their letting go, there is a profound wisdom. To release is to receive. And above all, there is the vast open sky, limitless, unbounded, inviting you to breathe deep and open your heart. The sky does not hold on. It simply is, expansive and free. Life unfolds perfectly when you stop pushing. Repeat this truth slowly, allowing it to settle within you, like the quiet dawn breaking over the horizon. You do not need to force the river's course. You do not need to hold tightly to the falling leaves. You do not need to confine yourself beneath a closed sky. Trust in the unfolding, in the natural rhythm of things. When you surrender control, you open to the unexpected, the unseen, the miraculous. Surrender is not giving up. It is making space for life to move through you unimpeded and whole. Feel the softness of this trust growing in your heart, a gentle current that carries you forward with ease. Let go. Flow freely. Breathe into the open sky of your being. In surrender, you find peace. In trust, you find your true strength. You were never lost. You were simply looking outward, beyond the quiet center within, beyond the gentle flame that has always burned steadily inside your heart. All along, you have been carrying a sacred power, the power of presence, of stillness, of deep compassionate awareness, like the silent mountain watching the seasons, like the lantern glowing softly in the dark. You have been whole even when the world seemed to pull you away. Remember the river that flows without struggle, the leaves that fall with grace, the open sky that holds everything without judgment. These were never just images. They were reflections of your own inner nature, your own sacred truth. Pause, breathe, witness. In this space, you see clearly now the restless seeking, the endless comparisons, the weight of trying to control. All these were shadows cast by the fear of being enough. But you are already enough. You are the tree that stands tall without envy. You are the mountain, steadfast and serene. You are the quiet flame that never flickers, even in the darkest night. When you stop chasing, you begin to see. When you stop pushing, life unfolds perfectly. You are not the noise, the distractions, or the storms outside. You are the stillness that holds them all. Feel the truth of this gently sinking into your bones, filling every part of you with calm and clarity. You are awake now, awake to the beauty of your own presence, awake to the wisdom of your own soul. Let the echoes of these words ripple through your being. You are enough. You are whole, you are love. You do not need to search outside yourself any longer. The sanctuary you seek is here within you, silent, vast, unshakable. Rest here in this knowing. Let yourself be still. Let yourself be free. You were never lost. You were simply looking outward, when all along the way home was inside your own heart. The quietest rivers run the deepest. As your journey gently draws to a close, return your attention to this simple truth. The river, flowing silently beneath. The surface, holding vast depths unknown to the eye. You have traveled through stillness and surrender, through presence and trust, learning that power lies not in noise or movement, but in the calm, steady current beneath. Like the river, you carry a depth within you that need not be shown or shouted. It simply is, quiet, profound, and endlessly patient. What if the silence you have sought was never an absence but a presence? What if the stillness you feared was the very source of your strength? Hold this question gently, as a lantern in the dark, illuminating your path without demanding an answer. Let the river's quiet flow remind you that life moves in its own time, that your own depth need not be proven or compared. In the space between breaths, in the pauses between thoughts, you find your true home. May this quiet knowing accompany you long after these words have settled. The river runs deep, and so do you.